Okay, so we're gonna start with our water. Okay, and then we're gonna just go in the middle. Oops. And we're going to start from the inside out just with our water to get the shape that we want. We want it really large, so you're going to have to just keep shaping it till it's the shape of the seal. So his body, or her body, kind of looks like an oval torpedo, like an oval.
Yeah.
So just keep shaping the oval part. We want this nice and big, so it's okay if you start small and get really big. Yeah? Yeah, let's see how you're doing with yours. Good. Yeah. I would just make it a little bit more oval. A bit more oval and tapered towards the back side. So tapered. And don't worry about the flippers. Well, no, actually do consider the head sooner than later. You want to leave a good quarter space to do the head, I think. There we go. Okay. So we're just going to use a little bit of color. We don't want it to be very dark. We just want to get some color to spread around in the water to basically fill in your shape. And the lighter you go, the more opportunities you have to layer on colors afterwards. The only thing that I'm finding frustrating about working with this paper is that it keeps rippling because we put too much water. So you can see those ripples there. So too much water. And that's the basic shape that we're going for. So dry off your paintbrush a little bit, and you want to, you're dragging in your, mop up some of the excess. It's okay, we can always come back in to do more color, but you want to mop up some of the excess water, and then you don't want to leave spots like that. So then go over it a little bit. And I think mine is fairly dry anyway. I'm just going to try to get some of that pooled water out of those valleys there. I think that's fine. Okay, so let's let that dry. Let's let this part dry. And instead, or rather at this point, let's go ahead and do sand. Again, we can start with the water. Sand and then water. Sand, ocean, and sky. Yeah? Okay. So again, we're just going to add water down here. And if your water was dirty at this point, you'd want to dump it out and get new water. Yeah. My paper is shifting back and forth, but that's because I'm holding the camera. So we're gonna just, you don't need to soak this too much. I would keep it fairly
dry.
Yeah. And that way you can add color in over this because
make like a cliff or something.
Yeah, you want to make a cliff? We can make a cliff, but you see, because your seal is still very, very wet, do not get water close to your seal. Like, you can get up into the corners, but don't touch your seal. We're going to finish off those little details at the very end when most of everything is dry. So for this sand, let's use this light tan. There's still some other colors in there as well, but that's okay. But I'm going to add a lot more water. Don't just do it with that concentration. Add a lot more water to it. I know it's a light color anyway. And then maybe I will take just a wee bit of that color also. Let me add more water there. Want it to be really light. And you want it also to be different from your seal. But we're going to add more color on our seal anyway. We're going to make her a little bit darker. And then I'm just going to start with the sand right here. Really light. This is going to be all very light, I think, in the end. Alright, so I've added the sand. It's very, very, very light. It's a little darker here. My seal is almost fading into the sand, so I need to put a little bit more color on there. But first, I'm going to go ahead and do the, what are we going to do the first?
Water.
The water and then the sky. So the water, let's do that a blue-green, really light again. And then we'll do the sky in a blue-gray. So let's get water into, I did a little bit of this one last time, but it's a little bit of this. And then let's take both of those colors to the gray. Is that a good idea? Let's take both of these. Let's put it in the gray. Wow, that's actually probably pretty good. So let me add more water to that gray. Oh, don't add more green. No, because that's going to be just too much. Because it's quite strong. See that? That's already... Actually, that's really good. Let's use that. Oops, let's use that color now. Oh, I forgot to add water, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and just add...
I mean, where
Let's do... I'm going to do... Instead of going close to my seal, I'm going to do the top of the water line and the sky. Actually, no, I'm going to do all the water because our sky is gray and our gray right now is mixed with blue. So let's use up that color first. I actually really like the way this looks. Let's see yours. Oh, nice. Okay, yours seems a little bit darker, but that's okay. That's really nice. Be really careful as you get close to your seal. And I'm going to add a little bit more water to it because I still don't want it to be too strong. Okay. Will that look like it's in the distance? Maybe I should have made my sand a little bit higher. Anyway.
Well, it is supposed to be pretty much on the shore.
Yeah, I want him on the shore. We still, yeah. I like this color.
I like this brush. Brushes.
Oh, yours is gorgeous. Let me see yours. Move it a little bit so I can see it. That's beautiful. I love that color blue.
Okay.
Yours looks really different than mine. Okay, yeah, let me finish doing mine and then we'll do the sky. If your ocean is still a little bit wet, we can actually...
It's pretty dry.
Oh, it is. I'm going to try that technique where you
Lift
lift up a little bit of the color.
Oh, that looks
So I am washing my paintbrush off. I am drying it off. And then I am lifting off some of the color. Oh, it does work.
You have to
Kinda
dry
cool.
it more, I think.
I did. I mean, I did without washing it again. I don't know. That's kind of cool. Just gives it a little something. So if the gray is ready, you can start. It's very, very light if you want to start doing the sky.
Okay. A lot of water.
Yeah.
So, like, this.
I would even do it a little bit lighter. Yeah, I would do it a little bit lighter with a little bit more gray. Or lighter, and then you can come back in with the gray afterwards and make kind of like clouds.
Yeah. Well, I thought the whole sky was going to be cloudy.
Yeah, kind of like a grayish overcast day. My seal is completely camouflaged. Let me get the sky going, and then we can go back over our seal and give it a little bit more detail. Yeah, I'll show you in a second. Oh, it's pretty sky. I really like the color of your ocean. It's really, really, really pretty.
Okay, I think this is done.
Yep. Oh, it's a beautiful sky. I really like it. Yeah, go ahead. And then when it starts to dry, then come back. Okay, Okay, so I'm done with my sky, ocean, and now my seal really needs a little more definition. This is my son's, and now he has taken off to do something else. I really like the way his ocean and sky turned out. He needs work on his seal, but he is taking a play break, and I'm going to finish doing this. So I want just a really light kind of brown. Actually, there's probably more gray in it. Let me move this all to the gray, because there's probably more gray in it. Well, that's not really turning out the color that I wanted. Let's try that. That's not what I wanted. Let's try to dilute that. Let's take some of it off. Okay. So I'm just going to reshape my seal. So I added some more brown up here to kind of define the upper parts of the seal. I added some shadows over here, which didn't really turn out that great. So when you make a mistake, you can just dry your brush, like wash and dry it, and then you can lift up some color. So that's what I'm going to kind of do here, and just kind of try to blend that in with the sand. Let me wash off my paintbrush again. It's getting a little bit dirty, but I think it still does the trick. Also, while I'm at it, I want to lift up some of the color from over here because the seal is a little bit lighter on the belly and a little bit darker along the top. So I just want to try to do that. And this is a really great, easy trick to getting a soft kind of line between the darker parts and the lighter parts. And I think I'm just going to do a little bit more. I especially like the way it looks up here. And then just kind of touch it up a little bit as I go. I gave a nice little light faint line around the bottom just to distinguish the seal from the sand. The flippers, the back flippers, did not turn out the way I expected, so I want to kind of come back in and soften that up a little bit. Do maybe a little bit more sand in this color around here and clean up this little shadow here that just kind of is a mistake. And that's kind of what it looks like. Okay, so I'm done with mine and I think it turned out okay, but not great. And I want to point out something about the paper that we're using. It's 90-pound Fabriano paper, and you can see that after the paper gets pretty moist, it does start to tear. So it's not the best paper for a lot of, it's not even wet on wet, but it's kind of, oops, I should have used a cleaner paintbrush to show you. Let me grab this one instead. So you can see the little bits of paper there that have come up because I had gone over this spot quite a few times because of that mistake that I made. You can still see some of the gray over here, and I tried to cover it over with the lighter sandy color, and it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good here, and it doesn't look good in the other spots that I had to go over it a few times. So that's something that you want to be mindful of depending on your skill set and, you know, how much money you want to spend on watercolor paper. This is, I feel, like a good mid-range quality, and for almost all of our projects it works really well, but I just want to point out some of those difficulties. So it looks okay. I'm not like super pleased with this project, but I think that it got the job done. My son is still playing, so let me just show you what he got here. He's having trouble with the limbs, so what I'm going to do, actually, let me see if this is clean enough for me to do this. I am going to come in and help shape the seal a little bit more because he's having trouble getting the shape, and this is going to help him continue the project and kind of just get more of the look that we're going for, because a lot of the artistry is, you know, interpretive, but what we are trying to get here at least is at least a silhouette that resembles a sea animal, a seal. So I'm gonna come in here and do this. And he is off playing, and when he when he comes back, I think he's gonna be like, oh, I did pretty good the first time. I'll tell him, of course, but he doesn't mind this kind of help. You know your child best, and you'll know whether this will be disappointing to your child or not. But for my son, this will help alleviate some of the parts that were a little bit stressful, and that was to get the shape of like the snout. I don't know if that's what it's called, but the snout right here. We will go ahead and fill in the areas that, you know, he made his too large here. So we're gonna go ahead and fill that in with, I think water should come right under there. But you can see that just a little bit of reshaping and just kind of elongating and, you know, making it larger kind of got the shape that we were looking for. I'm gonna work on his head just a little bit more here and fill in with some water. So that's where we're at so far. Okay, so I got my son back from his little play break, and he has added whiskers and some eyes. Did you mind that I helped shape your seal?
No.
No. Okay. I think our whiskers, I think we're having trouble with the whiskers. How about we try to soften that with a little bit of water? Like let's try to take them out. Maybe we'll just do whiskers with like pencil. I kind of wrecked mine also. I don't really know. That it's starting to look like a, well, I don't know. For some reason the whiskers are kind of tough. Tougher on this one than on our last one.
Way too dark.
Oh no, that's okay. Just our water is. Hold on. Let's go clean the water. Let's go clean the water first. Okay, that got cleaned up really well. While I was getting water, you just you know what? This is way too wet. You let me get another paper towel. So,
Oh, should I make my sand darker?
You know, you don't have to actually.
I'll make my
Your
sand
look-
darker.
Okay. But your seal is kind of those colors. Okay. Just do a little bit. Don't do much because it looks good the way it is. So we are going to get going on our walrus so that we have one of each. Seal, sea lion, and walrus. I like the way our sea lions turned out. But now you can really tell the difference between them, the sea lion and the seal, and next the walrus. Oh, that looks good. Okay, let's put this aside to dry and let's pull out our next piece of paper. All right, so that is our inspiration. And we have everything we need again. Yeah, you got rid of that drum. Let's start with the center of the walrus once again. Was this my brush from last time?
Can't
remember.
That was your paint. That was.
It is clean, right? Okay, good. So this is going to be huge. So we've got kind of a circular area here for the face. We're totally going to come back and deal with all this. Then we're going to be having kind of
A steep angle.
round. Goodness, he's going to be huge. Rounded here and a body here and flippers here. My paper is moving around. And then, thank you. And then the whole big body right here.
Wait, can you kind of shape mine? That's the part I hate.
Yeah. How about you start with the center of the body rather than the face? Let's see. The shape is this. It is a rectangle. Do it good. That's perfect. Wait, hold on. Yeah, no, that's fine. And then, so I think the face is going to be a little bit challenging. But anyway, let's do the body. And then he has kind of like his flipper kind of coming out this way, sort of.
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay. Yeah? You're happy with it? You want to make sure that, you know, as soon as you put color down, it's going to go in all those places. Now, I left mine a little bit drier because I had just too much water the last time I did it. So I am going to begin. I think he can be a little bit fatter here. No, I don't know. His face is kind of coming forward.
What color do we
I'm not sure. Anyway, his skin is going to be so many different colors. So let's start with the lightest tan. And I'm just going to give a nice basic base coat for this.
everywhere, right?
Yep.
Once you get the first color on, it kind of sets.
It does. And then we can go back and do like more details and stuff. This is his fin here. I'm out of color.
Flipper.
You are correct, flipper. And then his other flipper right here. Okay. Okay. All right. Ooh, yours is way too wet. All right, so what I want you to do is take the paper towel and just like pat it. Pat like just everywhere, the whole thing. And then you can come back in the spots that you made kind of white. You can come back in, but you're gonna have an easier time if it's a little bit drier. Okay? Okay, so our walrus is basically done. Not crazy about the skin. I was trying to make it kind of wrinkly and whatnot. This one is my son's, and he just used black for the tusks instead, and we may leave it like that. We may come back in with white, and mine are really hard to see, and they're kind of small actually. Might have to come back in with white for that. We are going to do this on an ice shelf, so we are going to use gray. I'm going to run and get some white since we really are going to need it for this project, so that's a little bit of opaque white mixed with water and some gray, which, can we clean that out? Because I think we have green in there, and then I'll go get the white. So I mixed a little bit, or not mixed, I just added some Mr. Huey's with a bit of water, I think, and then put it in. Oh, that's really thick. Let's add, actually, you know what? Don't mix it up too much. This will be for the ice. Oh, you're mixing it too much. Leave it like that, and let's make an ice
Shell.
Yeah, like some
Sheet.
A sheet. So let's put them like on a, like, make it. How about we make this whole thing ice? This is barely going to show. And then the water will be blue. How's that? And then the sky will be gray. Oops. Yeah, is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a really pretty gray actually.
Blue for the sky.
Oops, that's too gray. Let's add some more white. All right, so he's on an ice shelf with a little bit of a shadow. Can I see yours? There's yours. Your arm is in the shade. Can you move? There you go. Okay, so now we're going to make water. So we're going to use a little bit of this blue. You're adding it to the gray. Our pumpkin's in the way. And should we get some white in there too? Let's get a little bit of white in there too.
Yeah, a little more.
All right, so now we have some white in there. What color is that now? I think we need more blue. Let me move that out of the shade of the pumpkin. There you go.
I think that's a good color.
Is that a good color? Okay, good. So that can be the water, I think. Let's find out.
So the large red
Actually, I'm going to add a little bit more water to mine. I mean, like literally more. Oh, I like that color. Okay, good. So the water line can go
I don't know what.
maybe right above the walrus's head can be the water. Ooh, that's high for water. That's fine.
I can just blend it in with what's
That's fine. So, no, go ahead and leave it in there. Let's add, actually just,
Let's just mix
let's
more
add,
gray.
Yep, let's just mix more gray in there. Or, you know, just mix it a little bit more. I think it's actually pretty good. I'm going to add a little bit more water to mine to make it a little bit lighter. And that's what I'm going to do for the sky. Sorry. Here we go. Yeah. Because it's going to be like kind of the Arctic, I think. I think, right?
Yeah, that's where we live. Unless it's the Antarctic. No, I think it's the Arctic.
I think it's the Arctic, yeah. There. And I need to kind of blend mine a little bit too because mine is not quite straight. And then instead of adding more gray, I think I'm just going to lift off some. Oh, yours is actually kind of dark. Actually, that's fine. Everything on yours, watch out for a minute. Everything on yours has more color. I like it actually. So, I think the only thing I want to do, that one needs to be a little bit blended out a little bit, is I want to blend this a little bit. I need to work on him a little bit. His skin just doesn't look the way I want it. Oh, and now that I've got the white, I'm going to go back over his tusks and give him white tusks. All right, so the 3 pinnipeds are done. We have seals, sea lions, and our walrus. And for my son, I really like the way the walrus turned out. His, let's see if I can do that. Sea lion is on the back. I'll let that dry. The seal is here. And then on the back of this one, we'll do our fish, and then we will be done. Yay!